We continue our reading of Lest We Forget, a daily devotional by author George R. Knight. Today's reading, September 12, The Prophet and the Messengers. Get Mark and bring him with you, for he is very useful in serving me. 2 Timothy 4:11. The biblical prophets and apostles from time to time recommended individuals who would be a special blessing to the church. Ellen White wasn't different in that regard. The most repeated endorsement she made during her ministry was that involving Wagner and Jones. Again and again, she upheld them for their Christ-centered message. But did her repeated recommendation mean that she agreed with all that they taught, even in relation to the law and the gospel? Let's let her answer for herself. Early in the Minneapolis meetings, she wrote of her angelic guide who stretched out his arms toward Dr. Wagner and to you, Elder Butler, and said in substance as follows: "Neither has all the light upon the law. Neither position is perfect." While the context of that statement is the 1886 General Conference session, she still held the same position in 1888. Letter 21, 1888. In early November, she told the delegates at Minneapolis that some of the things that Wagner had presented on the law in Galatians do not harmonize with the understanding I have had of this subject. Later in the same talk, she claimed that some interpretations of Scripture given by Dr. Wagner I do not regard as correct. Manuscript 15, 1888. W.C. White substantiates his mother's position. He wrote to his wife from Minneapolis that much that Dr. W. teaches is in line with what his mother had seen in vision. That had led some to the conclusion that she endorsed all his views, and that no part of his teaching disagrees with Mother and with her testimonies. I could prove all this to be false. Constantly, Ellen White validated the central core of what Jones and Wagner presented on the righteousness of Christ, but an examination of their writings reflects a number of significant theological issues on which she differed from them. They were, however, pointing in the right direction as they sought to uplift Christ and righteousness through faith rather than through keeping the law. As with any prophetic pointing, there are no flawless targets. All must be evaluated in the light of the Bible. This concludes our reading today of Lest We Forget.